Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships for our Friday edition video, where I'm finally featuring the Kagerō. Gonna call it that. Not entirely sure, but we're gonna call it that today for purposes of this video. The Kagerō is a Tier 8 Japanese destroyer, a part of the Shimakaze tech tree line. So this means that it is the Tier 8 Japanese destroyer that revolves around the torpedoes versus the guns being the Akazuki. So I've actually had this video replay for some time, since probably the fall or late summer of last year. And I've taken a long time to feature the video because when I finally went to actually do this video, I had reset the Shimakaze line for research burrow points. And then I was like, well, I guess when I reset the line again, or when I regrind the line again after getting my research burrow points, I'll feature the ship. And I've done that. And then I just realized I reset this line, I think a week or two ago. So I don't actually have the ship in port because of it being reset for research burrow points. But what I'm going to have to do for tomorrow with the upgraded commander build video is I'm just going to have to show you WoW's tools, and we'll look at equipping the ship with the various different options. Now, this is a very good Tier 8 destroyer. One of the things that makes her so good is her concealment. So she has the lowest concealment unless something has changed with another ship or destroyer being introduced, but she has the lowest concealment of all Tier 8 destroyers at 5.4 kilometers. I believe the Kolsik, there's maybe one or two others at 5.5, and then it kind of goes up from there. So this really good concealment means that you're able to make some incredibly good plays and playing the ship around the torpedoes. These torpedoes are very good. I'm looking up the damage numbers from the WoW's wiki, and if you have the stock, or sorry, not stock, well, yeah, it could be stock, modification 1 torpedoes, those have a range of 10 kilometers, and they hit for 17,233 damage. Where the upgraded torps, which is what I have in this video, are 20,966. So, meaning that you're definitely hitting hard with these torpedoes if you line up some good torpedo salvos. Now, the torpedoes as a whole, I'll pull up some more information here. So the 2x4. So that means you get 8 torpedoes in total that almost do 21,000 damage each. And you also get access, you can choose to take smokescreen or the torpedo reload booster. I enjoy playing Kagerō as a torpedo reload booster destroyer because I'm able to make some bigger damage plays, because this ship it's not a gunboat ship in the sense where you're needing to pop smokescreen sometimes, go dark, farm while you're shooting from your smokescreen. This ship is really about this powerful potential torpedo damage as this Harbin decides to smoke up in front of all the torpedoes. So for example, if I didn't have this torpedo reload booster, I couldn't have made the play that I'm making on the Harbin now, as that's a terrible ship. So we're going to kill him, and it only takes one to kill him, and we get to 14,700 damage from the one torpedo alone. So the torpedo armament capabilities of the Kagerō are just absolutely phenomenal. So you can see, now we have 38 seconds before our next torpedo strike is back up for us. So we're already targeting the Schlieffen. So a lot of how my play style is with the Kagerō, I don't need going full speed circles all the time. You're going to see me staying, as I'm stalking different enemy ships. I'm setting up, often I'm sitting still, playing a little bit with my throttle, letting them get in closer. I think here I saw the CV coming and I decided to move a little more to the southwest of my position, hoping not to get detected by planes because I thought he was going up towards the north, but he does pick us up, so now we're spotted, so they know where we are. Now your AA is terrible on the ship, and I think that I have the stats here for it. Yeah, 2.49 kilometer, so 2.5 kilometer AA range, and I'm pretty sure your concealment when it's at the best is this. I think it matches. It's 2.5 kilometers as well. So might be actually a little less. So then you don't actually have to have your AA off. So when you're playing, I think I think Yugamo and Shimakaze get 5.8 kilometer AA. So then you actually want to be having your AA off on those two ships. Because the point of this line is playing as this, you're hunting all the classes, even the destroyers. But you have to be very mindful of those engagements. So you're really going for the cruisers and battleships, of course. So here are the Schlieffen coming in. Have to wait for the next torpedo strike to come up. Actually, I need to look at the reload time, and we can discuss that a little bit more. But the torpedo reload booster, I think, is a roughly 3-minute cooldown time before they're back up again. So one of the things that I like with this line, as you can see, I've not really left this cap very much. I've been pretty much here the entire time, and I want to step off the cap before the Schlieffen steps in, so he doesn't know that I'm actually on the cap, which is why I do that, why I step off. But I think I end up actually getting closer again because he's about to step out of the cap, or maybe he never fully got in. Yeah, so he's leaving the cap now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn back in, and I'm going to get another torpedo strike off. Now you can see in the meantime, our team has been doing very poorly. As we've lost, 5 ships to their 1 cruiser, the Harbin, we're 13 minutes into the game, and I'm the only one with a kill. Like, oh, this is how this is going to go. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. So we pop our engine boost just in case Schlieffen decides to turn in towards us, because we want to be turning away and moving more down in this direction. So now we've lost 6 ships. We've lost our friendly Dune as the Schlieffen's really pushing aggro on, and you can see both the 2 battleships that are hunkering down on the 10 line. Maybe I get turned over and looking at them again, since I don't have the WePlay file to just be able to take control here. So this is actually going to be some things where we're going to be rather frustrated with our battleships as this game progresses. So you'll see what I mean when the time comes. And we pick up our team's 2nd kill. So it really seems, you could say or think, that hope is lost. But if you've been subscribed to the channel long enough, you will see what we're able to do even when things don't look so hot for us. So with the WoW's wiki, some other notable items where I talk more about the ship itself. The way it describes the torpedoes is it describes them as being fast, powerful torpedoes that hit like freight trains. So we'll look more at the torpedo speed tomorrow because I don't remember what I have it built to. Good handling, same turning circle as her predecessors, and quick rudder shift. Yeah, I mean, it's decent. I mean, I know some other lines that are slightly better, like I think the British Destroyer rudder shift time is a bit better than this line, but perhaps I'm wrong. And then with the torpedo reload booster, of course, it gives you the ability to put 16 torpedoes in the water in like 9 seconds, essentially. So we're about to dump some torpedoes here. So we have about 1:38 torpedo reload time, and that's going for a max torpedo reload build. So some cons: mediocre top speed of 35 knots for the ship. Your main battery is slightly improved from Akatsuki, but still nothing special. Granted, these are the IJN HE shells, so they do hit really hard, even though they have a longer reload time, as you'll see us get into a gunfight later. I disagree a little bit with how the WoW's Wiki article, the writer says painfully long torpedo reload time, regardless of which torpedoes are equipped. And I think, let me scroll over here and look at this, what the stock torpedo reload time is.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Let's see, no, it's over here. I'm guessing, hopefully so. Yeah, so these upgraded torpedoes I have, they're 112 seconds, so almost a minute, or 2 minutes, excuse me. So we built into the torpedoes as our team takes out the Hindenburg, and they've also lost another ship in the meantime, so now they're down 4 ships. But when you build into torpedoes, I think for how capable these torpedoes are, I mean, it makes sense, but I wouldn't say they're a terrible reload time. I think, you know, if they were a 2-minute reload time, even after you built into them, like that would be very painfully long. with the strikes, it doesn't feel like I'm having to wait too long for the torpedoes to come back up again as we keep repositioning here. So now we have the Samagi pushing in. So drop one slightly ahead, one slightly behind in case he decides to slow down or turn out, turn in, something like that. So even though our torpedo reload booster is about to come off cooldown, now we're not going to use it just quite yet here. And what else was there? Have to choose between torpedo reload booster or a smoke screen, unlike Akazuki, which, I mean, with Akazuki you don't get as many torps. But I mean, I think for what you have to pay to have these hard-hitting torpedoes, as this Amagi is about to find out, running straight lines with the Kagerō and the Holland running around is bad for your health, as he took a Citadel hit there from one of the battleships, and so that helped us claim that kill. And then we have the Vermont pushing up. So one of the things that's working out for us right now in this battle is that the enemy team is kind of continuing to push into us, which is very helpful, especially when you're playing Kagerō or even a Holland, as our Holland has been doing decent as well. He's got one kill underneath his belt. So when you still have destroyers alive, you can see the enemy team still has 2 destroyers alive. It can be a difference between make or break. But you can see the enemy team is the ones with the map control. As I look over my shoulder, our battleships huddled up in the G9 square, so that's really encouraging to see. So our battleships are costing us map control, and you can see actually the GK still has a good chunk of health left, but the Soyuz, he's got 2 kills, a bit low. North Carolina also a bit low, but they should be able to get some heals off here. So basically that puts pressure on us destroyers to make some plays as we get spotted again. And I go ahead and torpedo reload booster, or torpedo reload boost the Vermont, since he has so much health in his 40-second cooldown on his repair party, just that he needs to die. So I didn't feel like I was going to need to hang on to another one, because we're getting to where you can see the enemy team is 3 minutes away from a win, as the Vermont is going to eat 4 torpedoes, and he has a good torpedo reload belt, or torpedo belt. And then, of course, as our torpedoes are about to kill him, he takes 3 citadels from the GK. So that was unfortunate. So we didn't actually get our 4th kill there that we were gunning for. So now our Lexington is getting shot at by the enemy Kagerō, with the Minnesota also firing upon him. So we need to go assist. What I would like to do is go get caps, which you can see our Holland destroyer player, he's communicating. This isn't over yet. With the Vermont kill, and now we lost our Lexington. It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds away from the enemy team getting a win. So that's not good for us. And I can't allow the enemy Kagerō, who's got full health, to be sitting up here on the 10 line. One of the good things is it's forcing our battleships to move, but now 2 of them are moving further to the south. So our GK is doing better here with his positioning. He's getting up in a better position to support us for the time being, but kind of needed that earlier. So we're going to pick a fight with the Kagerō. CV picked him up, even though, of course, your CV is dead. Doesn't mean that his planes are dead. When you're picking a gunfight with the Kagerō, what you like to do is to try to angle and turn away, since 2/3 of your firepower on the rear of your ship. Pushing in on an enemy destroyer straight on is a really bad idea. And just as we're about to get our 5th, or would have been our 5th kill possibly here, the Lexington kills him and getting a detonation. So you definitely want detonation, the Juliet Charlie combat signals on your ship. So now we have to go aggro here. We have to start shooting at the Shimakaze, because he needs to die. If I get rid of the Shimakaze, that means I would be able to sneak past and probably go flip the B cap, as our Holland is about to flip, or sorry, the C cap, as our Holland is about to flip the B cap. So the Lexington's done the right thing. He's just going for the destroyers and spotting. And I'm requesting support, because I need the support from our North Carolina and Sovietsky Soyuz in dealing with the Shimakaze, because I'm not going to be able to make a game-winning play here if I don't have some help. But one of the things that's nice about this line is, even though you're not a gunboat destroyer, is that you want to try to retain as much health as possible on your destroyer, your torpedo destroyer, so that you can sacrifice to get into these gun engagements later on in the battle if there's still enemy destroyers alive. So the Shimakaze ends up pushing in towards us. And this is where I talk about being able to kite away. One is Shimakaze has 15 torpedoes here, so I don't feel so confident to just rush at him. If I was a gunboat destroyer or a hybrid destroyer, I probably would have. But I don't feel comfortable enough that I can just simply push in against the Shimakaze, as being able to turn away means that I have a better chance of avoiding his torpedoes, and easier to dodge salvos with playing with our propulsion, which you can see he's not hit the last 2 salvos just because we've been playing with our propulsion and rudder shift. And so is the 3rd salvo he doesn't get. So he needs to die here. But this is the problem with, we have 2 battleships that have moved from G9 to I9. When you get this late stage in the battle, you need your battleships moved up. Like, I'm talking, the GK, where he, GK and up, or up by me, like in the G7, G8 square, because they have this health that they need to be willing to sacrifice a bit of. And because they're not, it means that we're not able to make these needed gameplays here against these low health targets. So the Holland's getting harassed. He's been reset because he can't go dark with his smoke screen. And I have the score timer, so I'm letting my team know that we need the kill. This Minnesota's been playing very passively here in the back. So all of our battleships in one spot. Like, imagine if we had the Soyuz or the North Carolina up here on the 9 line to be able to help with this Minnesota. But our Holland clutches the kill on the Minnesota, which is fantastic. And so I tell my team I'm going for a C. Enemy Venezia has been playing in the spawn for a past bit, and now the Venezia is pushing up into the decap, which means a Kagerō versus a Venezia is not good. But our Holland, or not Holland, one of the battleships is communicating he's been spotted by the Shimakaze. And we had that Shimakaze almost killed earlier. And now the Venezia is pushing in. So if our battleships, unfortunately, they're all on the 7-8 line, need to be able to get shots. Like, they're not in a position to make a gameplay here on this Venezia and being closer. The Venezia's got to do something really stupid to lose his health, because enemy team has a win in 38 seconds. So I'm trying to get my guns rotated around, where I'm looking to have to pick a gunfight with the Venezia, and as a tier 8 destroyer, that's a very bad idea, because of the semi-armor piercing that the Venezia has just wrecks us. So he's turning away. The battleship pressure, him being broadside, naturally is going to force him away, and trying to get to this cap. 10 seconds. Taking some shots. So, going from a situation where we had a lot of no kills, or I had the 2 kills, and now the enemy team's down to 3. We did claw our way back, but this wasn't enough because our battleships were in very bad positioning when the time came. You can see GK's actually going back into spawn, which is just really bad and just sadly frustrating. We did get 2 devastating strikes. We picked up the Confederate. Only 53 gun hits. You do want to utilize the guns when proper to, but most of the time you're playing more as a stealth destroyer, as we had 13 torpedo hits with the 3 destroyed, 5 flooding, and the 1 solo cap was spotting. I think our spotting damage was actually decent this battle. So here's the team score. I was about to go to detailed report, and I was like, no, I'm very disappointed with our battleship's performances. How at the end of the battle, if they moved up, probably would have been able to also get rid of the Venezia, giving us more time to possibly make the win. But we're going to compliment the Holland. He did a really good job. He was communicating, talking, he was going to flip caps, but unfortunately there's only so much we were able to do. Spotting. Yeah, we saw damage upon spotting. We did 137,000 spotting damage, which is really good. And you can see the breakdown of the ship. So it wasn't these like huge damage kills that we got, with how our battleships kind of shaved off some of the health of the different targets we were shooting at. But still, all in all, a really good battle, despite it being a loss. And with premium count, you can see 466,000 credits. So, Kagerō is still very good. Even in the current meta, I think Kagerō is still good. But the challenge right now we have as I record this video is the hybrid US battleships, the Nebraska, Delaware, Louisiana. And with more of these hybrid ships and more hybrid ships in the pipeline, it makes doing some really good stealthy plays like this more difficult because the risk of being spotted and enemy battleships, cruisers knowing where you are and maybe avoiding that area completely, meaning you have to go deeper into enemy territory to get your torpedoes off and then just get caught out and die. So not good for the game, wargaming, and I don't know why you're still introducing more and more planes into the game and more hybrid ships. So you don't understand what you're doing to the game. That's all I can say on that. So tomorrow I'll do an upgrade commander build video with the Kagerō. And so if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I would appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.